everybody, it's Emily at Arg Schooling, and welcome back to another episode of Homeschool Tidbits. Welcome back to another episode of Build Your Library's Homeschool Tidbits. Today is episode 45, and we're going to be talking about 5 books that you should read during Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month, and it's also March Through History. It's a readathon that I run here on my YouTube channel that is dedicated to reading history and historical fiction, and it just so happens that the theme of March Through History this month is also women in history. So this is the perfect time to pick up some great books about historical women. So I thought it would be fun to share some recommendations with you today for 5 books that you can read with your children right now this month to celebrate Women's History Month. So I'm going to start with picture books and work my way up to YA. So we're going to start with the youngest listeners and work ourselves up to our older teens and tweens. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Brave Girl, Clara and the Shirtwaist Maker Strike of 1909, and this is by Michelle Markle and Melissa Sweet. This picture book is about one of my favorite historical women, Clara Lemlich. Clara's family came to America from Russia when she was very young. This picture book shows how hard she had to work to learn English and to work to support her family. She saw firsthand how poorly other women workers were being treated in the garment industry. So she organized strikes and she refused to back down no matter what. This picture book focuses specifically on her role during the strike of 1909. And a bonus book I have to recommend is Audacity by Melanie Crowder. This is a YA book in verse. It's one of my favorite YA books in verse that I've read, and it's about Clara Lemlich's life. It is a stunning portrayal of a feisty woman. The next book I want to recommend is Malala's Magic Pencil by Malala Yousafzai. You know I had to recommend something about Malala Yousafzai. This picture book tells the story of her life. As a child, Malala wished for a magic pencil that could fix all the problems in her life and the problems that she saw around her. So like it could erase garbage off the street and it could give her an extra hour to sleep in the mornings. But as she grew up, she realized that there's no such thing as a magic pencil. And if she wanted to see a change in the world, she needed to be the change. This lovely picture book serves as a great introduction to an amazing woman. Now let's talk about some middle grade. I want to recommend The Mad Wolf's Daughter by Diane Magras. Yes, this is historical fiction about a fictional character, but hey, fictional characters can be great heroines as well. So this book is a rollicking good adventure with an amazingly strong female protagonist. Set in medieval Scotland, Drest is the only daughter of the Mad Wolf, and she looks up to him and her big brothers. They are strong warriors, and she wants to see herself as a strong warrior just like them. When on a frightful night her family's stronghold is attacked and her father and brothers are all taken prisoner, Drest is the only one who can save them. She goes on a dangerous and exciting mission to rescue her family. What I love about Drest is that she never doubts her abilities to save her family. She might be a girl, but she's tough and she is up to the challenge. This book has themes of justice and morality and loyalty, and it is an amazing read aloud. Next, I want to recommend Betty Before X. This is by Ilyasa Shabazz and Renee Watson. Written by her daughter, this is the story of Betty Shabazz's childhood, and it tells the story of her formative years and the people who shaped who she would later become. She has a fraught relationship with her mother, but is shown a loving home by the Malloys, who would inspire her sense of activism. This is a wonderful introduction to the civil rights movement, particularly since it's set in the 1940s. There are also many wonderful rabbit trails you could follow, from jazz music to pop culture in the 1940s to other famous people who are mentioned throughout the book. Betty is an inspiring character, and I think children will resonate with her story. And if you want to take this story further, I've also written a lit bite for it if you want to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. And the last book I want to recommend to you guys today is a young adult title, and it is White Rose by Kip Wilson. This YA novel in verse tells the story of Sophie Scholl, a young German activist who stood up to the Nazis during World War II. White Rose is a story of resistance and bravery. Sophie and her friends worked together to non-violently protest the Nazi regime. They created anonymous leaflets and graffiti, hoping to inspire others as well. Though the story does have a tragic ending, I don't feel like the story itself was sad. Instead, the poetry was powerful and moving, and the overall feeling this book gave me was one of hope, that even in the darkest hours, in the darkness of Nazi Germany, there were people willing to stand up and say, no, this isn't right. I hope that you've enjoyed the recommendations I've shared with you guys today. Let me know in the comments down below, who is your favorite historical woman to read about? If you found this video helpful, I hope that you'll check out Build Your Library curriculum. Build Your Library is a secular, literature-rich homeschool curriculum inspired by Charlotte Mason's philosophy of education. Based on nearly 20 years of homeschooling, I created the curriculum that I wished I'd had when I first started homeschooling. I have spent thousands of hours cultivating the best literature to enhance your children's studies. Our lesson plans make homeschooling simple. Just open them up, gather your books, and go. Our easy-to-use lesson plans include everything you need to homeschool. Just add math. Choose from our full-year K-12 levels, as well as our fun topical unit studies and our newest product, Lit Bites. With Build Your Library, you will cultivate a home library filled with captivating literature, and you'll raise children who become lifelong learners. So snuggle up with our lesson plans and a great book or three and have your best homeschool year ever. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this tidbit to be helpful. Remember to come back next week for more homeschooling inspiration. Until then, happy reading. Bye!